Hi, I'm Ryan Panay, and I'll be interviewing the cast of Bonnie and Clyde. Get ready, because things will be popping. Welcome back to Fireside Chats. Today I have with me two lovely ladies from the cast of Bonnie and Clyde. I have with me Hannah Czekanowski and Molly Fettigan. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Can you ladies tell me a little bit about what you do in Bonnie and Clyde?
We
get our hair done?
Yes, we get our hair done at Blanche's salon, and we're friends with Blanche, and we help her get Buck back in jail.
Just trouble with Buck.
Yeah, because he has.
Yeah, Buck gets in a lot of trouble.
A lot of troublemaking with the
Yeah.
show? Yeah. Tell me what you do to get Buck back in jail.
We talk about our experiences. Both of our husbands are in jail.
Oh, okay.
Well. And we're kind of enjoying ourselves, get our nails done. We don't have to wash their clothes, we don't have to cook for them. So we can kind of go.
So you're happy that they're not here with you now. You're like,
Yeah.
thank God I don't have to
Basically.
deal with them.
Yes.
That's funny. So you have a song in Bonnie and Clyde, correct?
Yes, we do.
What's the title of that song?
You're going back to jail.
You're going back to jail. So is that about Buck?
Yes. it
So
is.
you're just like, I'll see you
Mhm.
later.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And this is your
Fourth show.
fourth show. Wow. And this is your first, correct?
First show.
Wow. Well, I wish you both the best of luck and
you.
have a great opening night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Fireside Chats. Today I have with me Tommy Ranieri. Welcome,
Hey.
Tommy.
Thanks for having me.
Tommy's part of the cast of Bonnie and Clyde and is playing the sheriff, correct?
Yes.
Why don't you tell me a little bit about the sheriff?
Well, the sheriff is the head of the Dallas County Sheriff's Department. He's been in pursuit of Clyde and Buck after they just broke out of prison, and he's been trying to find them and figure out and try to keep justice because all hell's breaking loose, raise a little hell, in Texas at the time.
Okay, so you're not in pursuit of Bonnie, you're just in pursuit of Clyde and Buck, because they're
Clyde
the
and Buck
brothers,
in the
correct?
beginning, and then later on once Clyde takes on Bonnie.
When Clyde takes on Bonnie.
Yes.
So you're kind of following throughout their entire life a little bit.
Yes.
You're a little stalkery.
A little bit.
Okay, so how do you get on the case of Clyde and Buck? What's so particular about them? Was it just like a regular jailbreak, or did they dig a tunnel and sneak out?
It had just been that they had broken out of jail and they had got out, and it was just they were in my area, they were part of my Dallas County, and I had been in pursuit of them because it's
How long
my
have you
turf.
been in pursuit of them?
For, over the span, a while, I would say, a year or so.
A year or so. So is that a year or so just with Clyde and Buck, or is it a year or so Clyde, Buck, Clyde, Bonnie?
Ooh, tough question. I believe throughout the span it's about a year or so.
So,
Okay, but yeah, I had known of him for a while because ever since he was young, he was, had been an outlaw.
Okay. Was it hard for you to get into this character?
Not necessarily. I found that it was it's all about justice and finding the answer to things like that. And I just sank into it, and I didn't have too much of a hard time.
So with this character, it's more, he is taking the full extent of the law. So what his job is to find them, but he's the good guy in that sense.
Yes.
But in the sense of the audience seeing it, their protagonists, it feels more of...
There's a clash
like
in that, yeah.
A little power clash between it.
Mm-hmm.
It's really interesting. You were in Rugrats, correct? You were Tommy Pickles?
Oh, back in my olden days.
Back in the old days?
Yeah.
So is it hard getting from the animated screen and now moving onto a stage?
Yes, I had to grow up my hair and then dye it brown after being purple.
Where's Lil and Dill?
Oh, Lindell. Oh, they're back, I don't know, in Rugrats land, just chilling with their binkies, some milk, that good stuff,
All right, well, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you very much for having me.
Welcome back to Fireside Chats. Today I have with me Mike Parisi. Mike is in the cast of Bonnie and Clyde, and you play the preacher. Welcome, Mike.
Thank you for having me.
Can you tell me a little bit about the preacher?
Well, the preacher doesn't say or do a whole lot throughout the show. He comes in, sings about God, and then comes back, sings more about God, and then is there for both Buck's baptism and death.
Oh, okay. Was it hard for you to get into this character?
I mean, I'm personally not a religious person, so having to get into it was a little bit of a challenge, but think I picked it up.
Can you tell me a little about that? Does the Lord channel through you?
I like to think so. I mean, I don't want to give away any, like, well, it's not really a spoiler, the first couple seconds, but Bonnie and Clyde are seen dead, and I have a whole thing where it's like, the Lord will smite the two of them. And
Oh.
The Lord smites the
That's kind of intense.
two. Yes.
So so you really don't have any remorse for Bonnie and Clyde. You're like, you are sinners, you're going to hell, thank God you're gone.
I'm just following the good Lord.
Oh, can you tell? Oh, okay. Do we see a lot of the preacher throughout the show? Is there a religious factor that you'd say is very strong? Because I know
There's
Blanche is a very strong religious character. Are you on the same level as that with her?
Well, I don't think the religious character is a very, like, it's an underlying theme throughout the show, where you have the whole love story and, like, the guns and the violence, and there's this whole underarching theme of religion that is sort of tied in throughout it, which is, I want to say, somewhat important, because you see how religion affects different people and how, in both life and death, it is there for you.
That's very interesting. Would you say your character is more of an extremist?
I wouldn't
Does he
say
take
so.
it a little? You don't think he takes it too far at all?
No. He doesn't act upon any, like, religious acts or, like, anything like that. He's there to be the religious figure, and
He's a religious center of it.
but he's also, like, I want to say, like, not like a leader of the people, but, like, he understands the people and where they're coming from as well.
Where they're coming from, but he doesn't understand where Bonnie and Clyde are coming from.
No.
Not at all.
Like, he understands where they're coming from, just doesn't understand why they're doing the things they're doing.
Does he try and get them to repent for their sins and change their ways, or is he kind of like?
The preacher never once interacts with Bonnie or Clyde.
Okay, so it's more of like word of mouth kind of.
Well,
knowledge about it.
I have interactions with Buck and Blanche, but not direct Bonnie and Clyde.
Do you have a big influence on Blanche?
Blanche is a part of my congregation, so
So you
She-
preach to her.
I preach to her.
She says what you say, what you hear God say.
exactly.
Very interesting. All right, well, thank you so much for being here, Mike.
Thank you for having me.
We're very excited to see you in Bonnie and Clyde that goes up this week.